Alright, y'all, we're about to recap Baddies Caribbean episode 1 and episode 2. Now, I know I'm late, but better late than never, no? Let's do this. We're going to do it real quick. We're not going to take forever, and we're going to go through each episode, and then either tomorrow or in 2 days, you'll get episode 3, and I promise I'm going to keep up with them throughout this series, so let's do this. Alright, so the episode starts off somewhere in Puerto Rico, and the first fight that we see is Asian Doll and Mariah Lynn fighting about some colorist comments. And the reason I say it this way is because Asian Doll is a dark-skinned woman, and she literally profits off of posting pictures and just being bad. So I really don't know how this conversation or argument even started, but I hope this isn't the argument that Zeus thinks we're waiting for, because I promise you, we're not. So one thing I always find interesting is how everybody always just like stands around and watches the fight like it's a fighting ring. Like they literally make a circle, let them talk as if they don't know what the next move is. Like we all know. So we start off the episode with Natalie Nunn giving her introduction, talking about she don't need to give an introduction because y'all know who she is. And we do. And I love that quick intro. I wish everyone had that intro because the intros were long. And because this is a quick short recap, well not short because we're going to talk about it, but it's a short recap. We're not going to talk about all their intros. We're just going to go through it quickly. Alright y'all, so the first person that we see is Sukiana with the green hair, and let me tell you something, she just had this like vibe that gave off she did not want to be there. And if that's the case, mama, like you said, you got Rolling Loud, you don't need baddies, but for some reason you showed up to shooting, so let that be that, all right? The next person that we see is Scotty. Now, in my head, Scotty is Natalie's best friend, so why wasn't she first? We'll continue. Next, we see Tasiki. She looks great. When doesn't she look great? That's that. Then we see Mariah Lynn. Now, I've watched the episode a few times, and I really like her dress. Moving on. Biggie, I think she looks great. This was probably one of her best looks in my eyes. She ate that up. Sapphire's body is tea. Like, nobody could say nothing. Obviously, you could say something about how she is friend-wise, maybe, possibly. But her look, yeah, that's that. Now, when we get to Jayla, that's the interesting part because Jayla's intro is very scary, like cryptic, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want an intro like that. Like, it's just suspenseful, like, ooh, you know? All right, now let's talk about the tea. So I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Natalie pouring liquor in a champagne glass. Why is that so shocking to us? These are baddies. They don't do what we think they should do or what we normally do. They do what they want to do, and they're on a boat with liquor and champagne bottles. So we're going to use the bottles. Well, they're not champagne bottles. I definitely messed that up. I definitely meant glasses. They're just going to do what they want to do. Like, that's how I feel. Next. All right. What's next? Oh. So Ice Brothers gave baddies some chains, and Natalie handed them out. It was a cute moment. It was nothing wowing. I mean, yeah, it was just a cute chain. But then right after that, right, Jayla and Biggie, they start to confront their issue about the comment that Jayla made on live about Biggie and Rolly's fight. Now, for those of you that know, you know this was just made for a storyline. For those that don't know, every off season when they're not filming baddies, they need something dramatic to happen that they can bring up in the season. Maybe I'm spilling too much tea, but that's just for you to understand why that's even a big deal. Because I feel like for anyone regular watching, or not regular, but anyone who's not watching that, I mean, whoa, yeah, it's late. But anyone that's watching that doesn't really like keep up with the news and the blogs, they wouldn't really understand that. And I'm here to put you onto the tea. So that's why I told you that. Next. So Biggie, she swings first on Jayla, and I don't know, like she kind of did her thing, but that was it wasn't like a, oh, like you did that. It was more like a, look, I'm about to swing, security runs in. Because y'all know how Zeus security be. They don't play. They do not play. Now, I did screenshot this photo. And basically, Tasiki had her finger up to Jayla like, hold up. Hold up. I'm cool with you, but hold up. Because this is my friend. Like, Tasiki came out and said that she's friends with both of them. But in this clip, you can see Tasiki's like, yo, shorty, hold up. Hold up. Okay, so if you've been watching for a minute, you know I'm gonna just point out things that I appreciate and love along with the recap. And do you see how pretty that chain is sitting on Scotty's chest? We can move on. Okay, so we start to get introduced to the new girls, and Bianca, Miss Chicken Noodle Soup, is the girl that we are introduced to first. Now, if you don't know Bianca, she was on Love and Hip Hop New York. But if you don't know that show, then you most likely know Chicken Noodle Soup. And if you don't know that, yeah, so anyway, moving on. Bianca, I knew she got some work done recently, and she admitted it in the show, so, toodles to that. It would make no difference if she got work or didn't, but that's definitely something that stood out, and she just looks great. Moving on, next person that we see is Callie, which is Blueface's sister. I've never really heard much about her. I know that she was like attacking Natalie, but besides that, I'm really interested in seeing her story and who she is more. Now, the next person we see is Meatball. The only clip that I really, really know of her is, what's that thing that she be saying? Scoping the scenery out. Yeah, that's it. Actually, I thought Biggie made that up. So when I found out it was Meatball, I was like, oh, you funny. You funny. And you know how to keep a joke. You pretty. So I'm excited to see her. Next, this is my favorite. We got DTB, Dumb in the Body. I almost said the full thing and almost probably got censored. Anyway, Dumb in the Body, I'm excited for her. A lot of people I've been seeing saying that they're not excited. They think she's like corny. But I mean, that's not what I think. So let me know in the comments what you think, because I'm interested if I'm the only one that's excited to see her. Now, Tasiki, she is my mood at this point of the episode because we're still on episode 1 and she's like slumped. I went through these introductions quickly, but each introduction was about like 5-6 minutes on TV screen. So you could just imagine like, yeah, here's a screenshot. I'm good for that. Next, we see Tinkerbella. I don't really know much about her, so I'm excited to learn more about her. I do know that she fought DTB at the reunion, so try not to have any bias because DTB is my girl. Next, who do we see next? Slim. It says Slim on my notes, but I'm gonna confirm that once we get over there. But actually, let me confirm it now. Okay, so Slim. I'm getting used to these new girls just like you are, so forgive me. I don't know nothing about Slim, so I'm hoping that she leaves a good impression, because yo no sé nada. Next, we have It's Dia. Same thing with her. I just know that she rapped at the audition, but besides that, don't know nothing else. So I hope she leaves a good mark. I hope we see more of her. Now, her comment, she made a comment in confessional. She said, you know the vibes? That took me like absolutely off the cliff because what? I don't know. To me, it's just corny. So the next girl we're introduced to is Gretch. The only thing I know about her is she likes to say the N-word. And honestly, this is my opinion. Do not attack me. But if she is Puerto Rican, in my eyes, in my head, in my point of view, what are you fighting the girl for saying the word for? Like, not saying she has the right, but she also doesn't have not the right. You know what I'm saying? That maybe we can have more of this conversation in the comments, talk about it. But that's just how I feel. We're gonna move on to the next person, which is the special appearances. So like the people who are coming in but not really staying. They're only there to like show face and gain clout. Moving on. So the first person that we're introduced to is Aubrey. Now at first I did not know who she was, but then I realized she's the one that dropped that song that was like, do you got a first AK handsy? Do you? Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're way too young. But if you do know what I'm talking about, I also was scratching my head at the same time, like, how you end up on Baddies? But then she brought up the Diddy allegations, and I was like, oh, okay, 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 okay. So the next group of celebrity guests is the Claremont twins. I need to see more from them. I'm not impressed. I'm not disappointed, but I'm not impressed. It's just, yeah, I need to see more. Now, y'all know who this woman is on the screen. If you don't, her name is Tommy Lee, and she's gonna be a celebrity guest. Natalie's best friend, Biggie's best friend. If you know, you know. If you don't, they're not best friends. Next. So, the next scene that Zeus decides to show us is the conversation that we've all not been asking for. None of us asked for this conversation. Actually, after Baddies East, they were hanging out, taking photos on Instagram with each other. So, it looked like they moved past it. So, to sit back down and talk about it was kind of like, okay. And then what made it even worse was Sukiyana acting like, yeah, we're not cool, but I thought you were. Okay. And then Sapphire in this scene like cried, and I'm like, girl, you see how Suki is treating you. Leave that situation and just continue to prosper in your own circle. You're letting this girl embarrass you. But that's just how I feel. Let me know what you think, because if you saw the episode, I'm sure it might have been cringe, or it might have been like, what's the point? And I really want to know y'all point of views, because me, I feel like we would have had a great episode without this scene, for sure. Now, after this convo, we get this long intro that I think they spent maybe like 10-15 minutes on. I say that because it feels very rushed. Now, the only clip that I have from this long intro, because I wasn't going to go through every one of their looks, the only two looks that stood out to me were Natalie and Jayla. Jayla specifically, look at this screenshot. You cannot tell me that production don't love her. Next, we get to Anna's look. Now, Anna, she looks good. She looks good. And Rolly, she looks happy. She looks happy. So they have this very interesting meeting with Natalie in the middle. One side Rolly, the other side Anna. I mean, we all know where this is gonna go. They start to argue. Natalie brought gifts. She starts to hand them out, and they start throwing the gifts. Like, no decor, for real. So we're gonna move on to the next scene, which is the baddie dinner, and I think the baddie's dinner looked really, really cute. I've heard some people online saying that it looked cheap, but it looked cute. Like, you think you could do better? But that's just my question. Now, Aubrey comes to the dinner, and everyone's trying to act cordial, professional, kind, but Jayla, she decides to say a lot to Biggie and decides to approach her, which causes them to fight. And I have this screenshot of Aubrey's face because she was like, what is happening? Well, this is Baddies. You knew that. So these are some quick screenshots I have of the actual fight, and let's just say Biggie got her hits in when she needed to get her hits in, and Natalie just acting like she's trying to stop it. Love you, Natalie, but you was eating this up, please. And then we have Tasiki just sitting there like, and I could see in her brain that she's rooting for Biggie, but I could also see she's hungry. She's trying to eat. Like, y'all are messing up my meals. I could see all that in her head, for real. So, a quick Brooks side note. Oh, I like that. A quick Brooks side note. Yeah, that slaps. Okay, basically, who are these people in the back? Who are these people in the back of the scene? Don't you see us trying to shoot baddies? So, my thing is, they either know who baddies are and they're like, we know it's about to happen, or they're confused. Either way, tell them we about to shoot. They gotta go. Like for real, they gotta go. So the new girls are coming into the dinner. We see Callie, and I know that she has some business to approach with Natalie, so that was the most thing on my mind at this time. As you can see, everyone is nice. They're like, hey, hey, smiles. It's all happy highs. Let's point out how Bianca ran to Mariah Lynn first. Now, everyone else is saying hi. Sapphire is like, mwah. You see Bianca go around Sapphire to give everyone else a hug. And then she finds Sapphire, and all of a sudden it's just like, boom. Yes, I couldn't show the fight. I'm gonna get censored. But basically, she snuck her. She wasn't really prepared. We gonna get to it. We gonna get to it. But for right now, that's what happened. All right, so we're about to get into episode 2, but before I do that, I have a few things I want to touch upon. One, make sure you follow me on all my social medias. Instagram and TikTok are the ones I'm promoting right now, and they're all the same, at ELIXBROOKS. You can stay tuned with everything I do, like everything. And I'm gonna stay tuned with everything you do, and we just gonna stay tuned together. Also, at this point, comment below if you like the way that episode 1 went, the recap. Let me know if you want me to tweak any ways that I do recaps or anything that you like, that you want me to continue. But also, let me know your thoughts on episode 1, because a lot happened, but we're not even getting into the source of things. So with that being said, let's hop into episode 2. So we see Bianca and Sapphire fight. Callie goes straight for Natalie, and Natalie's like, hold up, like, stop and hold up. Now, Mariah claims that Callie at some point bumped into her, so she pulls her hair and pulls her braids and starts to hit her, and Bianca joins in. My thing is, Mariah, they didn't show her bumping into you. They just showed you pulling her hair. So I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. What I am saying is we didn't see that, and you haven't spoken on that. So at this point, we can only take with what we've seen. Am I right or am I wrong? All right, so then throughout the series, throughout this scene, we see Bianca and Sapphire meet up again. And at this point, Bianca's throwing shoes. Now, so I don't know if you guys know this podcaster, Aubrey Santana, but basically when he was recapping this episode, he mentioned that he believed that Bianca was throwing shoes because she couldn't fight. And honestly, he said that she couldn't fight. And I kind of agree with that. But I also feel like she was tired. And if I'm tired, I'm going to throw stuff so this fight can end quickly because I'm tired. So, yeah, I agree with that. But also I wanted to put y'all onto him because he's fire. So go check him out. And again, who are all these people? Who are they're trying to have a scene, and you got like the security, you got the guy in the white shirt, you got the guy in the red hat, you got the boom pole on the left, you got someone in the middle. It's just a lot of people. So throughout everything happening, Meatball sees Callie, and Callie's like, I know you're not a follower. And Meatball's like, girl, what you mean? I walked in with you. And I totally get Meatball's point of view, because it's like, girl, I walked in with you. We wasn't friends before I walked in with you. We just walked in together. Relax. Yeah, just... what you want her to do? Fight your battles for you? Like, you're the one that started this battle. So it's like, nah. So it's the next day. We got Aubrey, Scotty, Jayla, Sapphire, and Natalie all in a room talking about the dinner. Basically, Natalie feels some type of way about Callie addressing her, which she should, because who is Callie to check the host the day of? Huh? I also realized Scotty sitting down on that couch. Girl, what's happening? I thought y'all were close. Like, usually you would be on the bed. We're gonna move on from that point, okay? Because the next conversation that we see is Biggie and Tasiki talking. Now, what I want you to pay close attention to is what they're saying to each other when you watch this scene. So everybody knows that Jayla, she could fight, right? Now, at one point, Tasiki is like, you did your big one. Like, you did what you needed to, and I'm proud of you. Biggie needed that combo. I feel like we all know Biggie is not a fighter, but she also is not scary. So she's going to stand up whenever she needs to. And this is new for her. I feel like her being in the fighting scene is new. So Tasiki really just being there to support her is something I feel like she needed for sure. So Mariah Lynn and Bianca come in, and people have been saying that they're not sure if Mariah Lynn told Bianca that they're done beefing. But in this clip, we specifically hear that Bianca doesn't care that she was told that they're done beefing. She still wants to stand up for her friend. And I can admire that. I can definitely admire that. But what I can also admit is that Tasiki is right. Like, girl, you beef in a battle that is done. So what are you really doing? The girls are finally on their way to Barbados. And now, this is something I want to point out, right? They're all having a great time. You see all them together, but it's like in a few seconds, you're gonna see all of them together, like even the newbies. So it's like, what was the point of doing the introduction at the house if y'all done flew together, you know? All right, so another Brooks side note. Do you see this flight attendant? Like, she either knows who these girls are or she's getting a raise because she just looked real, real happy to be there. And it's like, maybe that's not expected because people nowadays are just horrible and mean at their job, but she looked happy to be on that plane. Like, girl, as you should. This is the clip I'm talking about. You see all the new girls and the old girls together. So it's like, we really did not need the clip that we're about to see where y'all like are introducing. And I wish you could see me because I'm doing quotes because it's like introducing when really y'all already met. So it's just me. Like, does that bother anyone? Let me know in the comments if that bothers you because it does tickle a little bone in me. Like, why are you trying to lie to us? So we finally get to the house, and according to Jayla, the rooms were already picked. They start arguing about rooms, who's gonna sleep where. Sapphire's like, are they gonna get voted out? Girl, this is not Bad Girls Club. Or like what? Jayla brings up that she doesn't want Biggie in the same house as her, as if like Jayla was an EP or something. Girl, that's not the case. So Biggie and Jayla, they going at it around the house, and I do want to point out this clip, and I'm gonna replay it, but I'm gonna move it slowly because at some point I feel like Jayla like either said something to Biggie or she like moved her head to kind of be like go in there. And I don't know if I'm thinking or like looking into it too deep, but I'm about to play that clip for you so you can tell me what you think. Here it is. So watch Jayla's head. Watch it. It's kind of like, it looks like she's moving it, and then Biggie's like, oh, and she turns. Now you might be saying, oh, Jayla probably said something like in the actual clip and you're not showing it. No, I promise you she didn't. I've watched it a few times, and when I screen recorded this, I was paying attention for that. She didn't. Now, yes, my screen recording was acting up and the audio was acting up, so now I can't play it. Nah. But y'all just gonna have to trust Brooks on this one. She didn't say nothing. She didn't say nothing. Nothing. And if someone proves me wrong, I'll admit it in the next video. But as of right now, Alright, so we're gonna call a spade, and we're gonna just call it for what it is. Jayla, Biggie was not looking at you when you hit that girl in the face. So you snuck her. You didn't jump her. It wasn't a crazy sneak, but she wasn't looking in your direction. So you snuck her. And I do feel bad for Biggie, but I don't agree with this like, oh, she's being bullied and she's being victimized, because she has a side to her that she brings out when she wants. And look at that guy running around with the light. The point is, I feel bad for her, but she's not the victim. Like, y'all need to do y'all research on Biggie. She's about it. Now, when I say as soon as the new girls walked in, Bianca already aiming for Sapphire, and they have their back and forth. At the same time, Biggie and Natalie are arguing because Biggie feels like Nat should have supported her more, which is the same thing we keep hearing from everyone. That's a whole different conversation. And Sapphire and Bianca, they have like a quick fight. And that leads into the trailer for episode 3. Alright, so that is my recap of episode 1 and 2 for Baddies Caribbean. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know if you agree with any of my opinions, if you disagree with any of my opinions, and also, are you excited for episode 3? Because I'm about to watch it right now. Make sure you follow all of my social medias at Eli X Brooks on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on, because YouTube like to play and make videos just like disappear. So make sure you stay tuned with all the videos. And with all that being said, Eli Brooks signing out.
All the stars are now aligning. Shine, heavy on the shine, shine, heavy on the shine.